Thanks for staying with us. I'm Rebecca Powers here with the wonderful team of Compass Financial. Let's just talk about what we were kind of tapping on, the things that you can do to prepare for retirement.
Well, I know I rattled on and on and on, but just before the break of all the things that you get.
Yeah.
But I think that it's really important for our viewers to understand what making a phone call to Compass Financial is going to entail. Obviously, we want to have a conversation with them. Obviously, we want to do a lot more listening than talking initially. And everybody's situation is completely different.
Yes.
And so we want to take that into consideration. But the retirement roadmap is something that we have designed that helps our clients walk away with the confidence that they're doing it right. And if they're not doing it right, what things, and sometimes it's just a minor adjustment and sometimes it's an overhaul, but wouldn't you want to know that? And so by making that phone call, Sam and I sit down and we go through that retirement roadmap. We start off with your personal GPS. GPS stands for Growth, Protection, and Savings. It is a one-page snapshot of exactly where you are today. What I love about that GPS is that every year when we do the annual strategic planning session, we create a new GPS.
Really?
And they're able to see the progress that they're making.
Wonderful.
And I want to touch on the GPS just for a second, because I believe that a lot of people, when they come to us, they just say, okay, here's all of my papers. I don't know what I have. I don't know what it can do.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you've been working for a lot of years, you've potentially worked at different companies, so you have old 401ks or IRAs that have existed, and they don't understand, okay, what is my actual snapshot? Like, what does my wealth look like other than, oh, I know I have a statement somewhere in a file drawer. And so it's such a great tool because every asset that they have goes on our model. So when they look at that one-page snapshot, they know where everything is, an old IRA,
That's awesome.
401k. It's also awesome for legacy pieces. Listen, we don't want you to go early. We want you to have the longest retirement possible. But if something unexpected happens, if you haven't written down what every asset that you have is, now your children or your spouse is having to dig through old file
And what
folders.
if they don't find it?
Exactly. Then there's money.
My dad passed away, and 2 years later, no joke, my sister just happened to be going through a box of his old stuff when he was in the Korean War. He was a Marine. She literally found a life insurance policy. And it's not his fault. He had 6 kids, worked full time. But can you imagine if you don't list it, that there's money on the table you literally could just be throwing away?
Right.
Do you have any stories like that? You have so many clients in your more than 4 decades of doing this. I'm sure you have lots of examples.
Well, we do.
You know, I think it's one of the things that I love is with our snapshot approach, it makes clients feel confident that they know what they're doing. And because of that, they don't keep us a secret. They are telling everyone.
The whole family. This is who you call.
And and they know. I mean, their children know. If anything happens to me, you pick up the phone, you call Karen and Sam. They've got it all taken care of for you. That's how we've gotten a lot of our clients, is actually through generational client acquisition. You know, the grandfather then told his children, and their children soon have come to us. And so it's
We've got 2 families where we help 4 generations.
Wow.
But when you're in business for 42 years, it's easier to do, right? So,
that's amazing.
when I first started, my clients were in their 50s and 60s. And of course, now they're either deceased or they're in their 80s, 90s, or my one client that's soon to be 101.
That's amazing.
So,
And there's so many people that, like I said, you would just get, it's a second opinion. Why not get a second opinion, right? If everything is perfect, you'll tell them that.
Well, and that's a perfect story, because we actually had a client that it wasn't even a client. They came to a seminar, they came in, we did the GPS, we did the income analysis, the tax burden analysis, and the Social Security analysis, and in going through everything, they'd actually made some really good decisions.
Awesome.
There was 1 or 2 tweaks that we could make, but we really couldn't justify saying, oh, what you have is terrible, you need to move everything to us, right? If you do the right thing long enough, good things always come back, right? That's how you get to stay in business for 42 years.
And they referred so many people to you.
Well, and that's what they did. And so they thanked us for our time and the thorough analysis and giving them the confidence to know that their plan really was on target.
That's fantastic.
And they referred their neighbor, who now is one of our greatest clients that we've had. We love this couple, and we are so appreciative that...
And it's true. Your plan might be perfect, but don't you want to know it now? Because if there's something that you can do that will greatly impact your retirement, The time to know about it is sooner rather than later. It would be tragic to get to retirement and realize that 10 or 15 years earlier, you could make one small tweak and it would greatly impact your dollars.
Yeah.
Or get to 80 years old and realize that had you turned on your Social Security earlier, or if you had done a Roth conversion, or if you had done this, that, or the other, maybe you wouldn't have had to exhaust other assets so that, you know, and so these are the kinds of things, and these are the conversations that when someone calls that number, and it's right there on the screen, 855-348-3073. If you give us a call, we would be so happy to have that conversation with you. And maybe you're doing it all right, but you deserve to find out. You only get one chance of getting this right.
Amen. And you said a word that really struck a chord with me, confidence. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it be amazing to have that confidence, to know that your plan is in place? And earlier you were talking about, you know, the 125,000 compared to the 400,000. There are so many little minor things that literally can mean the difference between you retiring much sooner. We're almost out of time. Have you had a lot of people come in and say, oh, I don't have much, I'm not ready to retire?
We did.
And you say, yes, you are.
Well, we had one sweet man. He was a referral to us as well. And
Awesome.
He said, he was a single guy, right? But he said, I've worked and worked and worked, and I've got a couple of 401ks and IRAs, but I don't think I have enough to retire. And interestingly enough, when we put all of his assets on the GPS and he saw the number at the top, he cried.
Aww.
He had no idea what he had.
And he called and said, I quit.
No, not quite.
No, but he got to keep working because he wanted to.
It was
not
his
because he
choice.
had to.
That's fantastic.
And we want to give you that choice. We want you to pick up the phone now, call the number on your screen, 855-348-3073, so that you can have the confidence to retire.
We're so grateful that you're all watching, and we hope to meet each and every one of you.
Absolutely. Thank you, ladies, and thank you at home. We'll see you again next week.